The Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues faced off last night for Game 1 of the first series of the postseason, and our expert handicapper Dave Golikoff gave his picks on the game. He called an over on the 5-goal total line, and he absolutely nailed it. Now he's back with us today to offer his selections on Game 2 going down tomorrow night. Dave, are you feeling lucky today?
I guess so. Yeah, I got my lucky rabbit's foot. Was not expecting that question, but yes, sure, I'm feeling lucky.
Good, I'm glad. All right, so let's talk about this game. You nailed your total on this last one, but the Wild came out and surprised us in this game. They scored 4 points on the league's leader. How can we expect the Blues to adjust and bounce back for Game 2?
Yeah, well, that's the question here, and I guess part of why I'm surprised. I actually forgot that I took the over in Game 1 because I do have the Blues on the series. I mean, we've done enough videos where I've been talking about the Blues as the team that I like to win this series, to go deep in the conference, blah, blah, blah. In short, I've done a complete 180. I have no faith in the Blues anymore after Game 1. I mean, look, you can make a strong case for them in Game 2. I admit it. You know, they're going to play better. They have to play better in Game 2. They had 11 shots through 2 periods, 21 shots in total, just 2 power plays. Their penalty kill was actually pretty good in the regular season, ranking 7th. They allowed 2 power play goals from Minnesota. But, I was wary of the Blues basically going into the season, into the regular season. I was wary of what they can do in the playoffs because they've always had trouble scoring in the playoffs. And I felt that maybe with a different matchup, maybe not facing the Blackhawks would help them. But, they're playing Minnesota. They really struggled to score those 2 goals in Game 1. The first one didn't even come till like 7:20 of the third period. The second one came with a minute left. So this is just a story that we've seen with St. Louis. If you're betting them in Game 2, I mean, I can make a case. They're probably going to play better. They know they can't afford to go down 0-2 to Minnesota, but I think the bottom line is they are going to go back to Minnesota down 0-2 because must win does not necessarily mean will win.
Yeah, now Dave, that's funny that you're saying that because the odds makers seem to think that they're going to come out again tonight or tomorrow night just really with some momentum. They have them at minus 173 on the money line in Game 2. That juice is pretty heavy for a team that barely scored 2 points. Do you think it's worth laying the points on them, or should we look to another line in this game?
Well, I think you can clearly see. I mean, first off, I would just say careful with anybody looking at the sports betting and bet online opening lines, because those numbers tend to be way off, or not always, but they usually see a lot of movement. So the line has come down in both those places. But when you look at a place like Pinnacle, it opened like under minus 140, which is, I think, it's reasonable. But in short, I do like Minnesota here. I just think that, look, this is they're in their wheelhouse. They're more comfortable here. They like these conservative, low-scoring games. They play discipline. They play smart. They play with puck possession. They protect Evan Dubnyk. They're happy as a clam on the road. They've won now 13 of their last 14 road games. Their only loss was on the last day of the regular season in St. Louis, when really there's nothing on the line there. So this team is great on the road. All the pressure's on St. Louis, and I don't think that helps them. I think it actually hurts them to be at home with all this pressure, to deliver. We saw the same thing last year against Chicago. When was it? Actually, no, they won the first 2 games against Chicago. Never mind that. But I just think the pressure's on St. Louis. We've seen this story play out before. They're struggling to score. Minnesota's playing well. No pressure on them, and I'm going to take them as a road dog here.
All right, guys. Once again, expert handicapper Dave Golikoff giving his free breakdown and selections for Game 2 of the quarterfinals for the Wild versus Blues matchup in the postseason going down 3 o'clock on Saturday. Now, if you want to challenge Dave with picks or think you know a better play on the game, comment below this video, tweet at us at SBR Sports Picks, show us what you've got. We want to hear from you and maybe even feature you on the next show. And of course, for all the best NHL selections on the playoffs, keep it locked right here with us at Sportsbook Review.